So now we have um well more like not a Hogwarts Legacy gameplay showcase, which well I am I, wait a minute. Teen, rated T, use of alcohol, mild language, blood, oh my god, the blood. Use of alcohol, oh no. What's the use of alcohol, man? Use it for magic. Or like for potions and all that, well. Oh yeah. Um anyway, Hogwarts Legacy, gameplay showcase 2. Let's do it. I'm excited for it to see what they have this time around. Because usually, oh, so usually these type of games, well, always people looking forward to it, like want to have a playable Harry Potter game. So this is as close as it gets. So let's hope they do it right, because you only get one chance at making a good franchise game, right? If you want to break through the mold that is, let's say Harry Potter, right? You want to have that good game. I think the same with Spider-Man as well. You have to make Spider-Man hit. And guess what? Spider-Man became a hit. Same with God of War.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, what is up with all these people?
And from the Avalanche team, we have Game Director
They're
Alan
also...
Tim,
Hello everybody.
and Systems Designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally, just off-screen capturing gameplay for us, Andrew Corum. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via Broom Flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts.
Alright, that's pretty cool.
And we're starting right where we left
Oh,
off.
you're
in the
going
last
straight
gameplay
into
showcase, just
gameplay,
outside
okay.
Hogwarts, which
That's what I want
love
to
that
see.
you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything, and then just come out here and take off on your broom out into the open world.
Is it open
And Alan,
world?
I know that's
Open
something
world.
that you particularly like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks really good already.
I'm a big fan of just being able to
I hope it's
hop
not
on the
empty,
broom
man.
and
That's
go
the problem
anywhere.
with open
There's
world
something about
games.
kind of like the
Because those open world
sensation
games
of
are
everything being open
empty.
to you.
So
And
let's hope
just,
it is,
I love the proximity that I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground.
just as
And-
fleshed out
and
as one would hope.
I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like, the brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just, I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, we're not at the 3,000 yet. We're at the we're at the 11. So.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like?
I mean,
upgrade that
she's just
broom?
flying, and the open world is always open world. You have to make the environment good, because we want to look at muddy textures, because that will be the worst thing possible in an open
It was
world game.
important to us that the player could customize themselves based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic, but if you talk
If
to the
you're traversing
shopkeep, and help him out,
the
he'll
world,
actually
then
sell
you want to
upgrades.
look at good stuff.
Yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom, you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better, and you can participate that and get better and better brooms through it.
Wasn't this game supposed to be like
I
a
love that
multiplayer
mechanic
game?
encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground. It's not just a travel mechanic, point A to
Of
point
course,
B.
if you can do
You're
it
not
single
just
player, it's
flying
also pretty good.
high
But
over everything, although it is
yeah,
beautiful.
I think
something
it was
really love
supposed to be
doing,
like a
but as well,
open
there's
world
lots to
multiplayer game.
explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it feels like it's got
Maybe
this
it's
kind
something
of
that comes
surfing
later.
vibe over the.
Oh
over
my
the
god, like
thing.
I'm just like, I want to snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to that forest and to that hamlet, or I don't know if that's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome. We're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it a hamlet is is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as. And so we all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village within Britain, but we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of, you know, barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different
I was
dwellings,
never
these different
big. Well,
smaller
I was kind of.
locations that
I was,
wizards might
you know, I
live
was
in
like,
out
you know,
in
at
the
least read
Scottish
like a
Highlands.
book or so.
And so it's those, and so we refer to
from
those
Harry
as
Potter,
hamlets, and they're opportunities
or
to
even
learn
watch
those wizard
Luke
stories, how
Parts,
those
but not
different
really
locations
completely deep
have
into
kind of
it.
like learned to live, what their
I mean, I always
relationships are,
enjoyed, you know,
characters of
magical
Hogsmeade
worlds and all that.
Hogwarts.
Just,
And
you know,
so they're both
I didn't
quest
want to go
opportunities
deep
out here and
into
a chance to
that
kind of
part.
get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced.
So, you
And
know,
you
so
also
experience
notice
it as
on
a
the
game is
minimap,
probably
like,
much
lots of
better.
little icons,
For me, at
and each
least.
one of those represent
Some people want to go
gameplay in the hamlets
all
that you can
deep, you know,
participate in. You know,
as
whether it's
deep
a
as it
vendor or
gets.
different puzzles and challenges or different secrets that exist. Each one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay. And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, you know, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And as you kind of encounter different enemies dotted on the landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our
Oh, that's
gameplay loops
interesting.
and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around.
I mean, I right away want to just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting
So
on
it's
a
like,
flying
you know,
mount.
enemy
We're
special
gonna
enemy
hop
type
on our
for
Onyx hippogriff here. The
that said
Onyx
that you can
hippogriff
get
is
stuff
our
from.
pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, there he just like pops out of the back. Oh wait, you can use it as a horsey? I mean, a horse? I mean, that is a horse?
Yeah, as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a ground mount, and you can lift off into the air.
But
And
can you
we
get
try
it
to make sure
normally,
that
though?
Each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that
That's a
top
weird
speed,
thing.
at
Sure, it
kind
might
of
be
traveling
like
the world
a
as quickly as
pre-order
possible,
thing.
but sometimes
can you
it's
get
really
it
nice to be on
in-game?
hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions, and sometimes it just feels amazing just to be riding around on a hippogriff.
Look at it.
Yeah, it really is kind of like.
What I'm wondering
I don't know,
is
it's a
he's
great
always
feeling
flying, you
being on
know,
it, and it's a great feeling managing those
around trees.
transitions
But I want to see what
going
happens if
from
you
run to
flies
fly
into a
and
tree.
just being able to go wherever you want. And we try
Is
to
it
make
gonna
sure
interact or
that,
not?
that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
And oh my god, like I see like
Like a-
different
like a
like
swamp
areas,
area.
like a swampy area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? There are regions that are like locked from you?
Yeah,
or,
as soon as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned, the swamp. But there, we have got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world just to kind of pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh. All those things exist as we're moving around.
So cool. And I love that windmill. It's like so rustic. Like I keep forgetting that this
I
is
mean,
like
it's just a windmill.
1800s.
It's a
It was
windmill.
world we've never really seen before. Like it feels so
Nothing special about the
authentic, like,
windmill.
it's part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too.
How
and,
is your normal
we're
windmill?
gonna have
How it
Andrew
was
stop here. We're gonna use
in the
a bit
medieval
of dev
times?
magic
Or more like, I
to,
guess,
change
magical
the
times in this
seasons.
case.
Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like, covered in snow.
Yes, 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 please. I love snow.
That's all I want.
Okay. No, please.
Does it have like
Just no.
actual like gameplay impact?
Okay, that's cool to
like,
see.
Impact on the gameplay, or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Oh, it's cool that
Yeah, we
the
use
weather
it, we really use it as a
can
narrative
change.
marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies, where you'll see kind of like the title card winter, and now the landscape has changed, and you're really feeling that passage of time while you're a student, going through your year at
Right.
Hogwarts.
Oh, that's pretty
And
cool.
I think we wanted to duplicate that, and for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which which I agree. I think it looked really beautiful. But within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts
my
to
God.
holidays and the school reacts to holidays. And you
Why
see
does the hippogriff
decorations
look
around
like a
those
damn horse
environments change.
from the back?
That really helped just kind of.
Wouldn't the hippogriff have more feathers?
Yeah. And it's not just
Fur and all that?
It's not just for the seasons. Those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle. Even though similarly, like it's largely about vibe, when you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down. Just when there's just candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls.
Makes
But
sense. I mean,
that
it
day-night cycle
100%
is
makes
where we
sense
kind of
because
place
the
a
atmosphere
few
has to
items
play
where,
a
know,
big part.
whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them that are a little bit restricted by the day-night cycle.
And I love Andrew's flying up here, really high up.
How
on the
high can he
hippogriff,
go?
And we're just looking at this.
I want to know if
view
there's
of
some kind of
Hogwarts in the
ceiling that you
distance.
will hit.
It's just absolutely beautiful. It's part of.
I mean, that's
what
probably
love
gotta be a
most about
ceiling,
flying around
right?
In this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my. I still can't get over no matter I played this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse, or to my common room. That it's all contiguous
just
and
pop
kind of
in.
one space
Find that a
is
little bit
still
weird,
exciting
yeah.
to me after all this
I mean,
time.
I'm just I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's just, oh my God.
I mean, it
As much
looks
as we wanna
good.
spend a lot more
I
time
just
out here,
I've
just
seen it so
flying
many
around,
times,
experiencing the
looking
world.
amazing
I
landscapes
think
and all.
this
It's
is a
just
great opportunity to switch
want to
over
see
to
more.
combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot more of a deep dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part of our deluxe edition.
Wait, what?
All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is, which is part of the deluxe and digital
You
deluxe
cannot get this
edition.
part without.
I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the world,
Wait.
it's integrated into the world, so
Hold up,
your
hold
experience
up.
is more immersive than just choosing an
cannot
option from
enter
the
this
main
part
menu of the
without
game or something
paying?
like that.
Reason to go to the
Without
Forbidden
buying
Forest.
Exactly.
certain parts?
There
Like
are
what?
many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest.
That
but,
makes no
he's
sense.
also
Why
wearing
would
the,
you?
Dark Arts
Why would
cosmetic
you do
set,
this? What?
And here he's pulling out the
That's a
Thestro,
bad
which
thing to
is
do.
part of that Dark Arts pack from the
They're
deluxe
locking
and
you
digital
out of
deluxe
parts where you
edition. So we're going
can't get
full Dark
into
Arts
unless
here.
you pay for it. What?
That's good. That's what I'm doing.
But I
That
like
makes
this,
no
this battle
sense
arena.
at
It
all.
is a great place to show off really combat in a big way because it unlocks some
Unless it's like an
interesting abilities
expansion,
for you
but
and
there's
allows you to,
maybe something to do with the
really play
game
around with combat
specifically,
in
right?
in a deep way.
And
That
is
you
this,
have
like,
to
the
buy that
only
to
arena
enjoy it
like this in
completely.
the game where you can like practice and
Yeah,
do...
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally.
What do you mean
and
base
so
game?
everyone has
What?
access to those. And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves in order to earn a
Unless I don't
a
know
different
something, which
cosmetic
could
for
also
your
be,
character
you know,
and add that to your
different, but
collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true, the combat arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn.
Of
and
course.
they can make choices in order to.
we're gonna
kind of
blur it
add
out
that to
so we
their
cannot see
repertoire,
what's
and
there.
they can also commit to that down with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those things as kind of like a way to test them all. And so it's a chance to kind of like tour and play with the Dark Arts and decide whether or not that is a path that you kind of want to go down. But yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
And again, a great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling, and we can start talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right.
Maybe it's not really.
They just about the cadavers
Maybe
right
it's
away.
not
Oh my God.
really specific
We're starting off
to
strong.
combat. Maybe it's not even needed. Maybe it's just random stuff that has no impact on the story. But still, though,
you'll notice
it's
right
still
away,
kind of
like,
unnecessary.
When we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. you'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to
Yeah, a little
kind of
cooldown.
build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know. I don't know if there are things on the screen that you just have questions about.
Well, like I see like little blue things
So waves, huh?
from
Yeah.
the enemies. Also, before,
I still feel like
sign. Well, it's like
I mean, combat's
in
good
the
and
game,
all.
call it the
I just feel
ancient
like
magic sign. I
there's
don't know if that's how it's called
Yeah.
in the game.
you know,
So the community is
the-
astute. So on the development side and in
the
player
emotions
facing
behind it
areas,
are missing.
you reference that as your
Like the
ancient
feel.
magic.
Oh,
The impact.
So it is ancient magic.
That
Right now
is,
it just
yeah.
feels like
So
just, you know,
as your
I don't
abilities
know.
in the game keep growing and you become exposed
Feels like you're
to some of the
hitting like
secrets about
almost
your
nothing.
own
You don't
sort of history
see
and your
hear
own-
anything. I
your
mean,
own
it's all in
abilities,
development, right? So
you
maybe
start
changes, but
unlocking new powers. So
I
one of
feel like
those
there's
powers you'll see
definitely
the R1
some
button
sounds
appearing,
that you need
throughout the
you
game.
need to feel the impact
That's
of those
an
spells.
ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy.
Okay.
But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell
Oh,
to do a
that-
ton of damage against a character.
I see.
And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting that force him to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because as you're doing different things in combat, you're Protegoing and you're doing different abilities and you can kind of spec into it with your talents, there are different ways to get that meter to build faster and faster. So one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see these blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the Room of Requirement to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin.
How many
in this,
words
like,
are
rocky
there?
material that reduces
feel like
the incoming damage
unless
that you're receiving. So
at
against
the end you
big
get
enemies,
something
hard-hitting
big,
enemies
right?
like trolls,
So
that's
kind
super
of-
helpful.
Oh my
Reward.
God, she's just destroying. The troll just collapsed from whatever the kid.
Yeah, my man's overpowered.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the Focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a Focus
At least,
potion, and that will increase
as a movement,
how
everything looks
quickly
pretty
your
nice.
cooldowns regain.
Right.
I still want to have
so
the
much,
feel.
like, versatility, like in what the character
impact
is doing
of
to the
attacks.
troll right now. Like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not, and the troll makes him move around too. Looks like.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Yes, and so that's like when we're talking about the setup of the arena, you also have plants that you can fight with. And so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret, and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
That is so cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuffian way to approach the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know? And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or...
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream, and the field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide
Alright.
manifests like challenges.
It's kind of the same stuff over and over.
And
Let's
exactly to your point. We just wanted a way to...
yeah, let's move over there.
All right, Andrew's got us in the room of requirement, wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think that's a good jumping off point, for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just hammer home that this is yours. You
Oh
can
my
change-
God! What? This is beautiful. We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So there's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and rugs, and just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space and bring it to life.
Oh my God. Because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also, as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded.
I guess
with,
making your
different
own
objects.
home,
That's so cool. And you change
all that
color?
decorating stuff.
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
That's pretty cool.
Oh my God, it's so tiny.
A lot to do.
like for
A
baby
lot of
Niffler.
customization you can do.
And I love how the
too
system too
bad.
is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the world as your character. But the way you...
What's good about this game is like look kind of alive. It looks really alive. I think that's what the things that in this
I love
whole
the animation, how it like appears, you know, like
school
it's
is.
not just like
Well,
there,
it's
it's
kind
like
of a
it
school,
almost,
right?
like, evaporates.
It is really quite beautiful.
Yeah,
That was the
everything
thing, so we
moves
wanted
and
that
everything
to
is
look
alive.
really nice, because
Make it more
the magic
immersive.
in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. And we really wanted to nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those as well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
Right.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified, and gear to have like rates put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Oh.
Yeah, we keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on a, like in the game you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to, but the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you explore and as you adventure and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities, and that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard and advancing as a wizard.
Oh,
and so
there's a huge list.
and not all the time, whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there is a station inside of the room of requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so cool.
And then as the space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new recipes, you know, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding. And as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear, and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And like
There are
you just
a lot
you
of
can just
customization
put
in this
some
game.
ability to the
A lot of
sweater,
it.
but then you can just swap
Which is
Yeah.
that ability.
actually
Yep.
something that
And
people
the
look forward to
appearances you
in
can
these
edit
type of games,
whenever you
because
want in the gear screen.
these
the loom
games,
is
this is a
specifically
game
about
about,
applying,
well, you could say
traits
nostalgia, plus also you want
and
to have a lot of
applying,
customization to make it
larger
feel
upgrades that just kind of grant
immersive,
you
and that's what they're
greater
probably
statistical
banking on,
advantage,
to make
or
it
give you
as
really
immersive as
specific
possible.
abilities that
You feel
blend
like
in
you
nicely
are
with where you're trying to go
living
with
the
your
world of Harry
combat
Potter.
fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, mooncalf fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care section, which is inside this vivario. Kind of bigger space on the inside idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf and a niffler
What the
and
hell
a
is
Kneazle
this?
as well. So
Oh my
quite a
God.
variety.
Oh my god, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so
No,
cuddling.
it's a goddamn
Oh my God,
elephant.
they're together. Oh, that's
An
so
elephant with a
cute.
They are
tentacle
adorable, and so
face
part of
on
beast
it.
care is
Or parts
petting
on it.
them
I
as
don't even
well,
know.
but
It's like
feeding
a
them too. And
mixture.
so once you
It's
do
a
those
chimera
things, that's
again.
when
It's
they
like a
feel safe
chimera.
enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur, niffler fur, etc. That can then be used in your gear.
That is like so like intuitive because like you know that makes sense because when you touch the animals you get some fur leftovers. That's so. Oh my god.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beasts. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Yeah, right. And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness. No, this is like, I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like cool. It's like you have this little play area, like a personalized fish tank, so to say, just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's
More
also,
decorations.
we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beast in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can, where you can play with your beasts. And you'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the mooncalf really likes the moon ball, or the Kneazle, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super
wow.
cute.
This one has more impact.
Oh my god.
Watching them, it's so cute.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home
That's pretty
is
cool.
that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing
Some
these beasts and
interaction.
bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
Right. Oh my god, this Raphorn is just gigantic. But he looks like my dog. Looking at my dog right now for sure.
You could actually name them as well. So like your dog.
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in, oh, here's a Graphorn in here. Like, this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name them. Bruce.
It's a good name.
Yes,
you
call
know,
him Bruce.
we've created this really nice space, and you can get additional vivariums, correct, to different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you progress through the story, you will unlock more vivariums. So as you can see, this one's quite meadow themed, big, open, bright, but there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a visual effect to
that's
and
cool.
more space for,
All around.
for your beast.
So a lot of you can do, a lot of
it's like-
customization what you can do.
Is great.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
is the resource that we use to conjure
That's
things
pretty
to discover
solid
on
all
the world
around.
that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of the beginning.
I wish it had more. You know, we've seen more
Well,
in
we
this,
could
but
spend
hey,
hours
it's a
in
start.
here,
You know,
but we're
it's a
gonna have to
start.
end the stream now. What do you think
It's
about
a
what you've seen today?
it's a start. It's a start overall. So yeah, it looks solid all around. So yeah, a little customization stuff, combat also seen. Not really completely sure how this thing works. Hopefully it's not, you know, we have to pay and then you can do stuff, but I hope not, because it would kind of, you know, ruin a lot of people's interest in that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Um, Interesting with, uh, you know, seasons that the world changes. Depending on, as you said, maybe like story based or even, you know, just normal the things that you do at the school, and that way, you know, maybe everything around it will change as well. So it looks good all around. So yeah, I would say, it's definitely exciting to see how this game comes to be, because probably as always my favorite areas are always snow areas. I don't know, maybe because I love snow and cold areas. I don't know what it is. I just love landscapes of snow like it is right now. Sadly, we don't have snow right now. Well, we had snow, but that's all melted down already. But yeah, that was Hogwarts Legacy, the gameplay showcase number 2. I hope we get more, because I want to see more of the world, but you don't want to show too much. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed it as I did, because since I'm looking forward to it, I'm also kind of, you know, waiting to see more that they improve on it, you know, all the basics, right? Sounds, I guess more environment. Hopefully the story in this game is also good, because it's a big task, because Harry Potter was is a good franchise, and you don't want to mess that up, do you? So yeah, let's hope for more good things in the future of Hogwarts Legacy.